How are you?
Pretty good, thank you.
No problem. Did you find the building all right?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the area.
That's good. Well, my name is Miss Terry. And what is your name?
My name is Capers.
Okay. And is it okay if I call you Mr. Capers?
Yeah, that works. That's
Okay.
fine.
How did you hear about our agency?
I was referred by a friend of mine who came previously and was experiencing some of the same issues.
Okay. So have you ever spoken to a social worker before?
No, never.
Okay. So hopefully this is a good first experience for you. And also the KST agency welcomes you. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Before we move forward, I'd like to just make sure I got the right address for you. Is 3601 Cherry Street still your current address?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you don't mind, I would kind of like to tell you about my role here at the KST agency, if that's okay.
Yes.
Well, again, my name is Miss Terry, and I am the social worker here in this agency. And my goal is to create a safe space for people to feel comfortable enough to come in and express any issues they're currently experiencing in their life right now. And I try my hardest to provide them with the best resources to kind of work away from that. So that's a little bit about what I do here. How was your day today?
Pretty good.
What did you do?
I worked about 6 or 7 hours.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, where do you work?
Biscuitville, I've been there 3 years.
Okay. What time does Biscuitville usually close?
2 in the afternoon, and it takes about 30-ish minutes to clean up, so I get home around 3 in the afternoon.
I did hear that they closed a little earlier. So that means you have the rest of the day to yourself?
Yeah, that's what I love about the job.
Okay. I remember when I worked at Texas Shirley's a couple years back as a server, and we usually get off around 2 or 3, so I definitely understand having that rest of the day to yourself, so I understand that. Reason why I have this folder here is because I wanted to see if it was okay if during our meeting I jotted down just a couple of notes so I can keep up with them, and when it comes to me trying to find some resources where I can kind of come back to that and make sure I have everything. So does that sound okay?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And I do want to remind you that this is a safe space and that everything that we discuss here is strictly confidential, but it does have a couple limitations to it, which brings me to present you with this form right here. This is our limitations of confidentiality form, which is just a consent form, basically saying that everything we do discuss here is confidential, unless you mention anything that sounds harmless, well not harmless, harmful to you or anyone around you, then I would have to report that to my supervisor. So what I'm going to get you to do, if that's okay, I'm going to get you to sign this. If you'd like to read it over it again, that's fine. If I can just get a signature coming at the bottom, we can go ahead and get started.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Capers. All right. Okay. So, the real question is, what brought you in today?
I've been going through some baby mama issues.
Oh, man. Well, if you don't mind me asking, I'd like to ask, where did you guys meet? Where did your relationship start?
We met back in high school when we were in the 9th grade. Yeah.
Okay. So would you consider her maybe a high school sweetheart?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So do you guys have a daughter or a son?
We have a son.
A son? Okay, great. So what's your son's name?
His name is James.
James?
Yeah, he's named after his grandfather.
Okay. That's nice. Do you think that having James at a young age, was it hard to raise him?
It wasn't as difficult as it would have been if it was just me and his mother. I had a great support system.
So Do you think there's any particular reason why James' mother is giving you a hard time?
Well, probably because I no longer want a relationship with her.
Okay. So how is the relationship between you and James? How's that?
We have the greatest relationship a father and son could have.
Really? Okay. What's some things that you guys like to do for fun?
Well, he likes to swim.
Okay.
He really loves that.
Did you so happen to teach him how to swim?
Yeah, I did.
That's cool. That's cool.
He likes playing at playgrounds, and he really enjoys the movies.
Okay. What kind of movies do you guys usually see?
Like Pixar, DreamWorks.
It's a lot of animation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. My daughter, she likes SpongeBob and stuff, so I have to watch that kind of stuff with my child too. So yeah. It sounds like you and James have a great relationship, and I'm getting a vibe that you're a great father with him. You're in here trying to work on your co-parenting issues with his mother, so I know that you're worried about your relationship with your son. So I just wanted to applaud you on that. How long has she been giving you troubles, like communication issues?
Maybe after we graduated from high school, just right after 2016. So about 2 years now.
Okay. So do you think that the confrontation between you and James' mother is affecting his growth in any way as a young boy?
No, I'm not entirely sure, as I don't live in the house with him, but I know he must feel some kind of way about his father not, being in the home with him.
Yeah, especially since you'll have a really good. Okay, let me ask you something. I know you mentioned earlier that James lives with his grandmother and his mother, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you ever get a sense of possessiveness at all from her?
Yeah, she has been in the past.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Just this past month, it's been like 5 times she's tried to stop me from seeing my child.
That was going to bring me to my next question. I was going to ask you if she ever tried to keep you from seeing them. So, okay. That's a lot, actually. So, that's... Question now. I'm not sure how you feel about this. I'm pretty sure you're, but I want to know, have you ever considered maybe potentially trying to rekindle an old flame with her just for the sake of James? Just for his sake. Have you ever considered that?
No. I was, there's a quote, when the past comes knocking, they have nothing new to say.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've heard that one, yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we got just a couple minutes left, so if you don't mind, I'd like to just do a little recap with you, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can feel free to let me have it, okay? So it seems like, since you mentioned that you're having some issues, some co-parenting issues with James' mother, you guys know each other for a while, high school sweethearts, and I think you mentioned that you guys had communicated in the past 2-3 years?
Yes, that's
right.
Correct.
So we got a little bit of communication issues going on here, and we're just trying to find some ways to get you guys to co-parent a little better for James' sake. That's the main factor here. So what I have here is a brochure that I think would be very beneficial to you until we meet again, if that's all right. And this is a brochure that has a couple co-parenting tips inside that I think would help you and James' mother as well. So hopefully that'll be helpful for you until I see you again, okay? Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Not at this time.
Okay, and just in case you do in the near future, I'm going to give you my card right here. That card has my name, my number, my email, and of course the address for the agency. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns until we meet again, then please feel free to get in contact with me and I'll be glad to help as much as I can. Okay? So if nothing else, then Mr. Caleb, it was great having you today, and I appreciate you opening up to me about what's going on between you and James' mother.
I do appreciate it. This was a great experience.
All right, well, I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.